Hi there, my name's Sean, and I want to talk about the Angry Beavers. Today, we're diving into Episode 1, Born to Be Beavers. We open on a black and white wildlife documentary hosted by William Bill Licking. Wildlife Shenanigans, episode Beavers on the Go. Bill greets us with the chipper
Heidi-ho, nature fans!
And introduces us to the Beaver family. Parents Leonard and Rose, their first litter boys, Norbert Foster, older by 4 minutes, and Daggett Doofus. Mrs. Beaver suddenly ducks off screen and returns with newborn twins Stacy and Chelsea, meaning the first litter must strike out on their own. It's a perfect tone setter. Daggett's literally tossed outside as the parents slam the door. Bill's cheerful narration keeps us plowing ahead, hilariously at odds with the reality that's happening on screen.
So as Mr. and Mrs. Beaver bid their sons a tearful goodbye, we join them in saying...
Dag's baseline vibe is anxious and neurotic. Norb, on the other hand, is pretty chill and smooth. Dag tries to scramble back inside for one last hit of comfort, but Norb yanks him away and their bachelor era begins. The faux documentary filter drops to full color as the brothers hike along an Oregon highway, talking through what's next. Norb gives a pep talk about carving their own path. He even asks if Dag packed his beaver survival kit.
But Norby, where will we go? How will we survive?
It's easy to survive. You got your beaver survival kit, don't you, Dad?
No.
Oh, jeez, that's not good.
Then, in classic Norb fashion, he works smarter, not harder his way into getting Dag to do all the labor on the first dam. Later on, we see Dag gathering lumber and injuring himself every so often. Classic cartoon escalation 101. When he returns to the build site, he realizes Norb is mysteriously absent. Dag calls out and Norb answers from way, way above, from a railroad bridge spanning the gorge. Lounging up top, Norb declares he's found the perfect prefabricated wooden structure for their bachelor pad. Why build when you can repurpose? Before Dag can protest, a distant train becomes a present problem. The whole structure shudders, tossing the brothers pinball style through the girders to the water below.
That was nuts!
Tempers flare and what follows is insult after insult as the two decide to split up to build their own separate dams. Sometime later, while Dag is hunting lumber, he hears Norb laughing nearby and follows the sound to a hen house. Norb is posted up like a lounge lizard among the chickens, retelling tall tales and just vibing.
Norbert! What in Davy Crockett's sweat-stained buckskins is going on?
Well, look who's here. It's Mr. Happy Pants.
Dag barges in to drag him back to the project. Norb counters with the pitch. Move on into it.
El Pollo Grande Hacienda.
Before Dag can fully object, the farm dogs bark, chickens panic, and a farmer steps in for the daily egg haul, leading to an unmistakably suggestive gag when he reaches Dag in disguise. The Beaver brothers bolt with their luggage into a storm and dive into an abandoned pickup propped up on cinder blocks.
Yeah, and your cousin is a three-legged toadstool.
Safely inside, they catch their breath, and Norb talks Dag down. Wait out the storm, and then they'll build together. The two crack up over the ridiculous day that they've had, and finally get to settle in. Until Dag absentmindedly kicks the parking brake. The truck shifts, wet ground gives way, and suddenly they're on the world's worst coaster, sliding through backcountry hills, merging onto a highway, launching off of a bridge, weaving, and sometimes not weaving, through trees, and finally sailing off of one last cliff. With a splash, the truck and foliage slam into the riverbed and form a perfect dam. Norb congratulates Dag for pulling it off the easy way, and Dag admits maybe relaxing does have its perks. Big hug, Dag resists, and Norb insists. As a pilot, this one's rock solid. The omniscient narrator frames the exposition clearly and sets the show's tone out of the gate. Snarky, physical, and just a little mean in that 90s Nicktoons way. It also echoes a device we'll see elsewhere. Think SpongeBob's French narrator guiding transitions and underlining jokes. What keeps fans attached to Born to Be Beavers isn't just nostalgia. It's how cleanly the pilot locks in Norb and Dag's sibling chemistry and invites us to live inside it. Norb's smooth, seen-it-all confidence rubs against Dag's jittery, duty-driven mindset, and the dialogue lands with an instantly repeatable rhythm. From hidey-ho nature fans to the blunt little skirmishes that end in an affectionate, ridiculous big hug. The documentary-style narrator becomes a character in the joke, smiling through moments that are plainly unwholesome while the show's physicality escalates in ways that are legible and satisfying. Underneath the chaos is a cozy bachelor pad fantasy. Two teens cut loose to figure out adulthood together. So the weirdness feels welcoming rather than random. And that mix of quotable banter, slapstick, and soft-hearted mischief is exactly what fans return to. If you boil it down, this episode says, hey, growing up is messy, but you don't have to do it alone. Norb's work smarter swagger and Dag's rule-following grind both matter, but what really works is choosing each other after the squabble. Hug, laugh, and try again. It's that old Nickelodeon cocktail of freedom to fail and bounce back optimism. Make a plan, wreck the plan, and build something better from the wreckage. What we've mostly left behind is the casual meanness of the era. Those insult volleys hit different now, but the heart still lands. Independence can be scary, but generally the world's pretty big and goofy. And you're allowed to relax, breathe, and take some time to figure it out. And sometimes that might be with your favorite person at your side.
Don't tell me what to do. I can do anything I want.
So can I. And maybe I don't want you to help me build a dam then.
Well, if that's the way you want it, fine. See you around, doofus.
Boothead.
Fuzzwad.
Numb booger.
Stink face.
Weasel weenie.
Poopy pants.
So what do you think? Does Born to Be Beavers land as a strong intro to the Norb and Dag dynamic, or are you more into the later, weirder episodes? Drop your thoughts below. I'll be covering more episodes and shows in the future, so if you enjoyed this kind of deep dive, be sure to subscribe and tune in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.